are back again with another game of 40k. We're playing Maelstrom of War mission. It's Contact Lost. That's the first one on the list, so it's the simple one. It's just 3 objectives a turn. All of the objectives are down, and it's all fighting over these chemical complexes. We're going to call this Aseus Chemicals, and we've got one objective in the backfield here, one objective in the middle of the board. There's a tight cluster of them. There's another 2 just there, and one behind the swamp pit, and one just behind the trees there. So all 6 are down. It's a vanguard strike. We're going to roll up to see which side the forces are deploying from. So some big chunks of line of sight blocking terrain, but this battle is going to be decided in close combat, I think. The Dark Angels are taking to the field today. We've got 2,500 points, and it's a dual wing, so we've got the Raven Wing and Deathwing, as you see. So the Warlord is going to be Samael. He's on his bike. He's with the Raven Wing Command Squad, so they've got the company banner, and there's a grenade launcher in there, the Raven Wing grenade launcher, and an apothecary. And then there's 2 formations. These are both Raven Wing attack squadrons. So we've got 3 bikes. There's a melter gun and a veteran sergeant with a melter bomb, an attack bike with a multi-melter, a Typhoon, another Typhoon for this 3-man bike squad. There's a veteran sergeant with a power sword and a plasma gun. On a different bike then there's a land speeder Vengeance and a Nephilim jet fighter. So that's it for the Raven Wing. And then we've got another formation. It is the Deathwing Redemption Force. So we've got a Librarian, mastery level 2. Stormbolter is 4 smiter, so it's 4-shot Stormbolter with Shred. It's pretty good. And Psychic powers, he's pulled Mindworm, Aversion, and Maelstrom of Misery, so he's got a good spread. And then there's a unit of 5 Deathwing Terminators. As you see, the Cyclone Missile Launcher, Chain Fist, and 2 Thunderhammer Storm Shields. And then there's another Deathwing Terminator squad. There's 3 Lightning Claws, Assault Cannon, and the Sergeant, as you see him. And then Dreadnought in a drop pod. He's got extra armour and a heavy flamer. And then outside of the whole thing, these are not in the Redemption Force because we'll want them on the board. So we've got a unit of Deathwing Knights with the Perfidious Relic, and they're going to be in a Land Raider Crusader. So it is an unbound army. There's 3 formations in there, but it is unbound, but it's not going to cause much penalty for the way the Dark Angels are going to play, so it should be pretty good anyway. And of course, Samael being the Warlord, his Warlord trait is fixed, and we're going to secretly pick a turn for the Deathwing to come down. So the advantage of having the Raven Wing in the attack squadron is they've all got a locator beacon, and it casts out a 12-inch net, so the Deathwing have got a big sort of field that can come around the Raven Wing. So we're going to try and set something up here.
Right, this is a 2,500 point army. It's drawn from the Chaos Space Marine Codex. It's led by Zuffa, so that marks them out as a Khorne army, the World Eaters. And the contingent's called the Skull Takers. Zuffa has a bodyguard there of 5 Terminators. 5 Terminators have brought with them a Land Raider. Zuffa has to deploy with the Terminators, so it's going to be a bit difficult though. He can't get in the Land Raider with the Terminators, and that'll probably go to some Khorne Berserkers. So we've got 5 Terminators there. 4 of them have combi plasmas, and 1 has a Reaper autocannon with a chainsaw, and he has the Icon of Wrath. Now moving down, we have a unit that goes in a Rhino, and there's 2 plasma pistols in there. And then we have 2 more squads, and both of them have plasma pistol each. and a power weapon for the champion. One's an axe, one's a sword. Then we've got another warlord here, and the warlord has the Axe of Blind Fury. He has a gift of mutation, has a sigil of corruption which gives him a 4+ save, invulnerable, and he's got a kill spike of course. He's a veteran of the Long War with the Mark of Khorne. And we have 2 units of bikes, both of 8, the Mark of Khorne, the number of Khorne, and each bike squadron has 2 melter guns and a champion. One champion has a power axe, the other champion has a power fist. And we've got 3 heavy slots. We've got Mauler Fiend, Lasher Tendrils, and we've got a Forge Fiend with an ectoplasm cannon, in addition to these Hades autocannons. And we have another Land Raider, and that's for one of the Khorne Berserker squads, of course.
Okay, so we've got all of the heavy support in this section. We've got 2 Land Raiders with the 2 Demon Engines. They're looking ready to go take these objectives as soon as possible that have ended up in the midfield. Zuffa and the Terminator squad, they're staying outside of the Land Raider. It's just going to allow this Berserker squad to pile in on their first turn. Just for a mental note, this terrain piece, even though it's got a base, it is classed as open terrain, so because it looks easy to manage, so the Berserker's probably going to hop straight into that Land Raider in their first turn. The bikes, this is the Khorne Lord squad, so these are right in the corner looking after this objective. And there's a Vanguard bike unit looking to scream up the table and get a hold of that one. And then there's a sneaky Rhino just in the underpass. So the Dark Angels have had to set up against that, and because it's a largely outflanking deep striking force, there's not a lot on the table at all. So we've put the Raven Wing right in the corner, out of 42-inch range of the Forge Fiend, because he's the one that we're sort of terrified about. It is night on the first turn, so these Raven Wing are going to have a good Jinx save at night hopefully, so they should stay alive. And then there's a Land Raider behind the trees here, and that's got the Deathwing Knights in, so they are going to hope to survive possibly the last cannons from the Land Raiders. And again, because it's night, hopefully they can take advantage of the tree line. So there's not a lot of Dark Angels on the board, they are all in reserve. So we've got Samil and the command squad, they're going to be outflanking. We've got the Vengeance Land Speeder, that'll be coming on from reserve. Sorry, these are coming on from reserve, they're not outflanking. This is also going to come on from reserve. The Nephilim Jet Fighter obviously comes on from reserve. This squad of Mel, the Raven Wing, they're going to come on from outflank. And then we've got the Deathwing Force, they'll be coming down on the secret turn. And of course we've got the Deathwing Knights in the Land Raider, that's already on the table. So with all that done now, there's some good fields of fire for both armies, and it's going to be pretty brutal first 2 turns if the Dark Angels can handle it and get the reserves on. And Khorne are very, very fast here, so it's going to be important to stay the initiative like this. 0-3. Even on the Deathwing Bone dice, it's not going to happen. So it's Khorne, turn 1. So let's see just how much damage they can put out. So the World Eaters have moved, and have moved quite fast. Everyone's turbo boosted and ran. Not a single shot fired yet. It's quite an aggressive move. So all of the bikes have turbo boosted from the far corner, straight up, ready to try and get the melters in range of the Land Raider as soon as possible. And then there's the Lord's Bike unit. They've pulled round, gone through the underpass. All the tanks turbo boosted, and the Demon engines have ran. But because Dark Angels are being pushed right back into the corner, they don't own one objective, and that's allowed the Demon. It's not the Demon, it's the World Eaters. To gain what is it? It's not a
supremacy. Yeah,
supremacy straight away. So that's D3 victory points. If you want to roll that in the slide. So that's 2 victory points straight away. And the other 2 were Witch Hunter and Scour the Sky. So they are still possible. There's a Librarian for the Dark Angels, and of course there's the Flyer. So 2 points straight away on I was going to say it again. The World Eaters first turn, without a single shot fired. So Dark Angels, they have to survive 2 turns here. So that's the first turn survived, but they're breathing down the necks here. Right, so it's Dark Angels turn 1 now, so just a quick movement phase. The Deathwing Knights, they get out of the Land Raider, then the Land Raider turns just a little bit. We're going to try and hose down these bikes as much as possible. The Raven Wing, they're on the move. Going to try and get a plasma gun shot at the Rhino perhaps, and the 2 land speeders are going to shoot at the Demon engines just over here. So the objectives pulled aren't very helpful. Secure objective 6, which is just in front of these bikes, but the Rhino's taking it as well. So, and there's a squad inside of the Rhino, so that's not going to go well. And the other objective is just where the Demon engines are, and then there's a secret one for the Dark Angels, so that's going to be a secret. So it's on to shooting. We're going to open up with the firepower on these units here. So the Land Raider Crusader has opened up with the Hurricane Bolters, scored an astonishing 6 wounds on the bike, so there's 6 wounds to save.
3.
3s, so there's just 1. And then there's still the assault cannon to go. The assault cannon kills 1 with a rending shot through the woods, and the other there's another 2 wounds, and they are saved. So we're going to do Power the Machine Spirit multi-melter, and that is going to be at the Rhino. So we're going to check the range, see if it's in double dice. Range. Let's get my tape measure. It is. So it's going to hit on a 3. It's a hit, double dice. Okay, so that is a pen. So you're actually saving on a 4 through the woods because it was night, I forgot to mention.
So 4?
Yeah. So that is saved. Okay, we've got the Ravenwing bikes. I think they're going to shoot at the bike squad, providing the range is in. The range is there, because if they do manage to kill one, that is a melter gun and possibly a power axe. So we'll see what the range is like. 2 twirling bolt guns open up onto this squad. There's 1 wound. They can only kill 1 person in range, so it's the melter gunner, so it's important to save. It's on a 3.
He's a 3.
Oh,
he fails miserably.
He's gone. And the plasma gun can't be fired because he's now not in range, so that worked out pretty nicely. And we've now just got the land speeders to go. They're going to fire on the demons, the demon engines. So this land speeder's fired just over the Land Raider. It's caused a penetrating hit on the Forge Fiend behind the Land Raider. It is still night, so he's saving on a 4. Oh, it went through, and the
6.
damage is a 1, so he's snap firing, but he can ignore that on the 2+ because he's a demon engine. And he does. So we're going to fire the other land speeder at him, see if we can get that good luck again. So 1 hit on a 6 and no good on a 3. So just 1 hull point dealt out on that demon engine, and the do have it will not die, so he might just get that back. But it's onto charges now, so these Deathwing Knights are going to charge in on the bike. So there's 4 bolters and a melter gun if you want to fire that.
Okay, so you got 3+ invulnerable, haven't you?
3+ invulnerable and a toughness 5 in close formation.
Just 5 bolt guns, eh? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, so 5 rapid firing. So it's 10 shots, twin linked, hitting on 6s. So 1 hit so far. So So it's 2 hits in
Two.
total. So
Needing
needing
fours.
5s because I'm in close formation.
This
That
one.
says 1 wound. Going to try and save on a 2 on a big Deathwing dice, and we do just. So they are going to charge in. The charge range looks like a 4. We'll check that. And that's a double 1.
Oh dear.
So, on that note, I think the Dark Angels have lost the game on that charge. So that is the end of that turn.
Oh dear.
On to Demonkin turn. World Eaters turn 2. Con move in on the easy prey after that failed charge, and they're just looking to be surrounded now. There's 2 plasma pistols in that group. The Deathwing Knights are on borrowed time. Then there's the Lord going to charge in. They probably won't even survive the bolt gunfire, but that Lord has got the relic axe. That's got actually rolled for a boon at the start of the game, so he's got even a further +1 strength. So he's got +3 to his strength, his AP 2, and it's a demon weapon as well. So it goes from bad to worse for the Deathwing Knights. And both Land Raiders have moved up 12, or have they moved flat out? Was it 12?
Oh, they did 12.
Just did 12, so they're going to probably get some snapshots off at the Ravenwing vehicles, and the Mauler Fiend is going to look to make it through the woods on a charge here. So it's all corn shooting now. Okay, so all the bikes, the Terminators, this Berserker squad with 2 plasma pistols, and the Rhino opens up on the Terminators. Pooh around to save him, but the weight of numbers was enough to just bring them down to 1 man. He survived a single melter shot from this bike unit, so there's 8 more shots, twin linked bolter shots to put up with. And it's a good amount of hits. There's 1 to re-roll because it's twin linked. Okay, they all hit. Needing 4s now. Okay, that's a good amount. How many is that?
3, 6.
Okay, so he needs to save all these on 2s. The average says he's going to die. And he dies 3 times over.
3 bullet holes.
So he's dead. That's first blood to Chaos. But the Land Raider doesn't get shot with a melter gun, but that squad certainly paid for their failed charge, and that is another victory point. Was there any other victory points for just moving on to objectives in that turn?
No.
Okay, so it's now just snapshots on the Land Raider. Okay, so the Land Raider opened up at the bikes. They jinked, but he didn't manage to get a hit. This Land Raider manages to get a hit on this Land Speeder, but it's opts to jink, so no damage there either. And now it's this Forge Fiend. He's going to fire on, is it this Land Speeder?
This one, yeah.
Okay, so that is naturally going to jink, because it's the only way it can possibly live. So here comes the Ectoplasm Cannon. That's a direct hit, so it's strength 8. In 2. So that is a pen, so saving on a 4. With a reroll because of Ravenwing special rule. So that is a save. Now there's 8 strength 8 shots coming through the woods from the Hades Gatling cannons. So hitting on 4s. Okay, so that's even. There's 4 hits. And needing 2s to glance. So there's 3 pens we'll do first. So 2 go through, we get a re-roll because of Ravenwing special rule. So there's 1 pen gone through in the glance. Save, so 1 penetration. What is the damage?
Sorry.
Oh, that rolls off the table. And it's a 1, so that is snap firing, but it's jinked anyway, so that's actually came away with most of its faculties intact, but it's got to try and stomach a charge from this Mauler Fiend now. So I'm going to roll the charge range and we'll measure that up. Okay, well it's better than Deathwing's attempt, an 8. I don't believe it's far enough. It's a 9-inch charge for the Mauler Fiend. He's got an 8, so he's an inch out, but he has got fleet, so he needs a 4 here to get in. And he gets in, so might as well just do the Hammer Wrath attack straight away. Strength 6, I think. Need a 4 to glance. It's no good, but it's probably going to get mauled down with the Power Fists. So the Mauler Fiend has just swatted the Land Speeder out of the air with ease in close combat. And is there any victory points for that?
No,
combat or anything?
No, that's it.
No, so just 1 victory point for First Blood with the Deathwing Knights there. And it's on to Dark Angel's turn 2, so the reserve should arrive now. And might they get some points, we'll find out. Turn 2 now, and the Dark Angels have been able to deploy, because the first time was just a bluff. So the full army's turned up now, so we've got Sammael and the Landspeeder Vengeance turning up from just basic reserve, and they're going to look to engage this Khorne Lord on a bikes unit, so there's a lot of plasma here. The Vengeance weapon battery, that's a big blast plasma that is going to drop a shell, or hopefully if it doesn't get hot, right on those cluster of berserkers. Land Raider's going to try and deal with these bikes. There's a melter gun in there that needs to go if the Land Raider is to survive. The Nephilim Jet Fighter, he's going to lend support and fire to whichever unit needs it. These Terminators came in on a 12-inch locator beacon on these bikes, and then they moved up behind them. This Sergeant has a melter bomb, so he's going to plant one on one of these Land Raiders, and these Terminators are going to add support and fire. This Land Speeder stays still. Crucially, this Land Speeder is part of this Raven Wing unit, and so he will fire at the Mauler Fiend first, which allows these to hit the Mauler Fiend with a +1 ballistic skill, and they're going to shoot that
right in the ass.
Right in the backside. And then the drop pod comes down, the Deathwing Dreadnought, he gets out, he's going to shoot this Mauler Fiend in the butt. And then the Librarians unit, they come down from Deep Strike, very close to the edge of the board, but they're going to have to deal with these Terminators, because these all, except for that heavy weapon, have combi plasmas, so going to need to get those before they get us. So there's a lot of firepower there. The Dark Angels held on for 2 turns there, it was looking so grim. Hopefully they can get some good shooting in, because they're going to need it. If this firing phase isn't as good as it needs to be, then the Dark Angels will surely be crushed, because there's no points coming in for them. They just need to do some damage, so let's see if they can. So in the Dark Angels Psychic phase, there's only 1 warp charge, so the Psyker has only got 3 in his capability to charge, and we're going to do aversion on the plasma gun Terminators. I'm going to have to check the warp charge. So only got that off on 1 warp charge, but it is enough. I thought it was warp charge 2, but it's not. So Khorne have 1 dice to try and dispel this on. 4, it's not enough. So those Terminators will be snap firing, so that is crucial, because they've got combi plasmas.
Absolutely crucial.
That, and there's 2 Terminators on the scene. The Deathwing took a risk there, but we're glad that's this Land Speeder. I overlooked the fact that I was jinking. It didn't actually cause a hit on this Mauler Fiend, but the 2 melter guns have hit and penetrated all the same. He has got a demon save of 5, so
and here it comes.
this is crucial.
No.
So 2 go through. It's a melter hit, so +2, so the damage result is 6. Will do just nice. So that's going to blow up 4 inches. That's going to get possibly 2 bikes. We'll measure that up just now. Okay, so that goes up, and 2 bikes are caught in the blast, but they're both unwounded. Is that a word? It is now.
Not wounded.
They aren't wounded. So it's a good start there from the Dark Angels. It's on to the Venerable Dreadnought. Okay, so the Deathwing Dreadnought, he's going to fire his assault cannon into the back of this Forge Fiend, it's already got a hull point, so he only needs 2. So he's got his assault cannon, he's hitting on 2s, and he's got preferred enemy thanks to the formation against Chaos. So there's 4 hits, needing 4s to glance. Oh, it's a wild scatter, but there's 2. There's a pen and a glance, so you need to save those on Demon 5.
So the pen first.
Okay,
Oops, I won't do it. I thought it was good.
Well, that was direct hit.
Okay, so pen first. No.
Goes through.
And the glance.
Goes through, so it is gone regardless. Let's see what the damage is. It's a 6. That would be immobilised, but it's gone anyway. So far so good. There's 2 of the demon engines taken out in swift succession. It's all down to the Terminators now to take on these Khorne Terminators. Okay, so the Deathwing, they run and shoot on the turn they arrive, so we split fire the missiles at the bikes, they jink no damage, but the real damage is done from the Stormbolters and Force Smiter. Just hose down those Terminators and they lose 3, so that's a big impact from just the humble Stormbolter. That's what we expect from the Deathwing. To be fair, they have got Twiddling on the turn to come down and preferred enemy, so that's where the rerolls came from. It wasn't enough, so there's plenty more to shoot, and it's looking very good for the Dark Angels so far. Okay, we're going to do Samael and his HQ, and they're going to target the already Jinkin Lord squad here, so this is going to be a hell of a firefight with these Plasma Talons. We're going to shoot the Ravenwing grenade launcher first. I'm just going to check what round we're going to use. It's probably going to be the -1 to the weapon skill, because that would be good. Okay, so the Ravenwing grenade launcher, that opens up with a stasis shell. The stasis shell is -1 to your initiative and weapon skill, but it flies off and hits the pipe. So the pipe is -1 initiative, which is very helpful. But we have got the Plasma Talons and a Plasma Cannon from Samael, so hopefully we can get better results. Samael manages to only kill 1 with a Plasma Cannon shot, but there is 7 wounds from the Plasma Talons, and they're still jinking, so they're saving on 4s.
It's going to be first 3, then we into the Lord here, so I'm going to roll 3 dice.
Okay.
Right, so we need 4s.
4s, yeah. Oh, 2 go down.
2 down, so another 1.
Okay, he's down.
No.
So you now got 3 on the Lord.
So they're out of there. Okay, so I'm going to do that, sir.
So 3 lookout sirs on 2s. Because he's an independent character. Okay, they all come off, and now it's saving on 4s. So just another one goes down. So I think that might be your champion with the Power Fist, because he's the nearest.
This one?
No, this guy here.
Who?
This.
I have to check the range, because I think he's nearer than that.
Oh no, it's the lookout sir who's the nearest to the character that you're displacing. Okay, so the lookout sir would have been resolved onto the Power Fist aspiring champion, but the actual last wound wouldn't have been resolved on the Lord anyway. It would have been on this biker who was in this field here. So crisis averted, but just in the future it would have been the nearest model. So they've taken a bit of stick. They're still fearless with their Lord. And there's still a few more units to shoot. We'll have to see what the Land Raider can do. Land Raider fires at the Berserkers on the bikes, and only one of them drops. We're going to do the multi-melter at this Land Raider here, so hits on a 3, and he hits, it's within 12, so that is no good. Only a 5 there, so it's not happened. These bikes do need to go down. Still got the fly to shoot. Okay, so in the film, Jet Fighter opens up on the squad and does major damage. Down to 1 left, he's going to have to do a morale check. And there's still more to fire, and we'll do morale checks at the end. So we've still got the Terminators to fire. I think we're going to do the Assault Cannon to try and kill this Power Fist to save Samael in the future. So let's do that now. It's going to be split fire. The Terminator squad splits fire. The Assault Cannon manages to kill one of the bikes. It gets lookout sirred onto a different bike. So there's only 3 of them left, but they still have got the hand-to-hand weapons. And the Sergeant, he fires his Stormbolter at the Terminators, but nothing happens there. So they're going to run now, because they can do that. 2 inches. Okay, so the Terminators have moved out just 2 inches, closing at the board. And now, crucially, it is the Vengeance Landspeeder. I've got a sneaking suspicion he's just going to get hot, but he's going to put a big blast on this cluster of Berserkers. So here we go. Does he get hot? No, so we're going to get a big blast, big plasma blast. I'm pretty excited about this.
I'm not.
It's going to go there. So, where's my scatter dice? There it is. Okay, so will that land? It's going to scatter 5, 8, so -4. It's going to scatter 4 inches. See what damage is. Big scatter of 4, only getting 2 berserkers in the tank. That could have been the mother load there. So it's pretty disappointing. But try and kill those 2 berserkers on 2s. So 2 berserkers dead, and then on the rhino, that is a pen. You do get a save on a 5 there because you are being shielded by your men. So that does save. So 2 berserkers go down. There's still a heavy bolt at the fire. Hitting the 3s. There's 1 hit. Okay. In case you're wondering, that's an aircraft going by. There's an air show on. Or is it in a film? Okay, so wound on a 3. No, so no wounds, 2 berserkers dead, and a plane goes past. Okay, so the last thing we're going to do is we're going to charge in with these bikes on this Land Raider and plant a melter bomb if we can. So they're in. Doesn't matter about double ones these days. So the only thing that matters is that crucial melter bomb on a 3, and he's missed. So that's the end of that, and that is the end of the Dark Angel's turn. So don't think there's any objectives scored still. So although it was a good round for the Dark Angels, killed a lot of machines, there's going to be a big fight on this side and still no points. Okay, so this bike fails his morale check and he's going back, and he's impossible to rally. He's going to need a double 1 to get get by. So that is truly the end of the Dark Angel's turn now. So on to Khorne turn 3. Okay, so Khorne's on the move now. So the berserkers from the Rhino have moved up. We're going to assault Samuel's group along with the bikers, the depleted bikers. Still a power fist and that strength 7 demon weapon. These bikes are going to be in for it. There is an apothecary in there, so he's going to have to get his splinters and bandages out. It's pretty soon. And then over here we've got Zuffa with the berserkers. Totally forgot he was in there, and it's going to be terrible news for these Terminators. And these bikes, similarly, terrible news. There's another full berserker squad, and they're going to get pasted, no doubt. But Khorne have serious depleted forces now, so if they take any more casualties, I think the game could tip. But again, the Dark Angels have similar amount of units, but luckily the Terminators and bikes. Okay, so it's shooting for the Chaos first. See if they can take down some Terminators. Okay, so we've got some Land Raiders. They're going to fire at. Well, this one's the crucial one. This one just pivoted, and it's going to try and pick off the Librarian. If you can do that, then it's Witch Hunter. So there's 2 las cannons firing right down the field, hitting on 3s. So there's 2 hits, needing 2s. Okay, so there's 2 wounds. So there's going to be 2 lookout sirs for the Librarian. Mix them both. So the closest one I've made sure it's unfortunately the Cyclone missile launcher, but he has got a Storm Shield, so he's saving on a 3. And he saves on again. And he saves that one, so 2 las cannon shots straight off the shield there. And then there's a heavy bolter. So twinning. 2 hits, need 3s. Okay, there's 2 wounds, so take let's take them on the librarian. He's only got 2 wounds, but what's the chances of rolling another double 1? He says. Okay, so he takes those. I think we've got all the double 1s out of our system after that. So this Land Raider fires at the Terminators. 1 las cannon kills a Terminator, but the heavy bolters and the other snap firing las cannon fail to hit. So Terminators are down 1, and it's on to shooting down in this section. Okay, no damage done to the Raven Wing, but they are jinking because there was a plasma pistol in there. We're looking forward to doing Grim Resolve Overwatch, but that's been put on hold and inevitable doom now. Then we've got some shots over here. Okay, so all the bolters are up from this area. Only 1 Terminator succumbs. Luckily a plasma pistol got hot, but he saved himself. Now it's the dilemma. The Terminators, they've got combi plasmas, but last turn they had a version cast on them, which means they only can snap fire. Yeah. So what's Chaos going to do about that?
Okay, so he's going to fire snap with his plasma.
Right, and the other one's
2 shots and he's 6s. Okay, so
oh, he gets hot though. So is he going
to 2 and wound.
Okay, so he's got through his own blunder and actually got a hit. Right, we're going to do just going to try and save on the sergeant. He's only got a power sword, and he dies. So you've got a bolter to do.
This one.
And he's missed. Okay, so aversion didn't quite go as well as planned, but that was some both ends of a spectrum, 6 and a 1. So there's 3 left. They are fearless, they don't go anywhere. They're just going to have to get swamped. Okay, so we've got this battle over here. The Berserkers are going to open up on full ballistic skill. This bike unit are snapping, so that's going to be a little bit of relief. So there's 6 Berserkers there, and there's 2 plasma pistols. Okay, so the command squad were opting not to jink because we're really, I think the best chance we've got is to just try and hit them with the plasma talons at full, well, not full ballistic skill, but hitting on 5s instead of 6s with twin link weapons. That's going to be better than our close combat attacks, I assume. So we're not going to jink, but there are 2 plasma pistols in there, but there is an apothecary for the Raven Wing, so it's dangerous. So the yellow ones, I assume, are the plasmas, and so he saves himself from the get hot roll. And the yellow ones, you want to do the plasma just straight away.
No.
Right, so the plasma wounds, the 2 bolter shots don't. So for this plasma talon, he's got an apothecary save of 5. It's not enough, so he's dead. But hopefully that'll pay off. Okay, so we've got 4 bikes firing rate of fire with twin link weapons, but they are jinking from last turn. So
6s to hit?
Yep. So just 1 hit so far. And
again.
Twin link. So it's 2 hits, needing 5s now.
Needing 5s.
Okay, no wounds, so they're gonna just suffer a casualty from the plasma pistol, but hopefully that is we can get some kills in the Overwatch. Okay, so the bikes are going in first. They are still jinking, so they will get jink save even on Overwatch. So we've got 3 plasma talons to go. So starting here, here, and then here. So first one, twin linked. It says 1 hit, the apothecary. Twin linked. It says 2 hits, and last one, twin linked. Okay, so there's 4 hits in total. So wounding on 2s on the bikes because the plasma guns. So there's 3 wounds, so you need to save 3
on 4.
On 4.
Oops, rolled too many dice. Huh?
Okay.
We'll roll that again.
So we roll 1 dice after a re-roll, so it's going to be this one. And then we've got Samuel with a Stormbolter. It's twin linked. No good. And then we've got a grenade from this bike. He misses. Okay, so the bikes go in and then it's a bike fight, and then so do the Berserkers. Okay, so Khorne make it all in the combat over here. And over here he loses a Terminator on the way into the assault cannon. Again, there's the Grim Resolve rule coming in, and got the bikes. They get assaulted, no casualties on Overwatch from them. So it's now a fight to the death as Samil being challenged by the Khorne Lord. This is going to be quite the bust up. Okay, so the fights are resolved. The 3 bikes just get crushed, but the Sergeant manages to take out the Berserker champion with a melter bomb, so he is history, but the rest of the attacks are just too much. And Zuffa and his squad, they come in and kill 2 Terminators. Luckily one survives. That's lucky for Khorne, because he doesn't want to subject themselves to any more big plasma blasts, so he holds on. And it's now the big fight here. So we've got Samil versus the Khorne Lord on a bike. Samil's got 4 attacks and he's hitting on 3s because the Lord is suffering a -1 to his weapon skill because he's carrying that brutal axe. So he's hitting on 3s and he's got hatred against kill. So there's 4 hits. He's AP2 weapon, but he's wounding on 5s because he's on a bike. So there is a single wound. He needs to save on. Has he got a Rosarius equivalent?
Yeah, he's got a sigil. So
okay,
that's a 4
so he's
save.
on a 4, yeah. So he takes a wound. Right, so the demon champion comes back and he needs to do.
Alright, so he's coming back with a.
He's got Demon's axe, so he needs to do a d6 amount of extra attacks
Yes.
first.
Okay, so I'll roll for that then.
Yeah. So if
So
you got
an extra number of attacks.
it's the full 6. So Samil is now going to have to take 12 attacks coming back at him with the Rage special rule included. So he's hitting on 4s against Samil. Ooh, he might just come through this one.
He's
That was,
got Veterans of the Long War.
oh, of course he has. He's got Veterans of the Long War, so only 5 hit. So there's a reroll on those lost 5. And there's another 4. So he's got to suffer 9 hits. These are at strength 7, so he's running on 2s. Ooh, look, there's a couple of 1s in there for Samil. So there is 7 wounds to save. This is going to be brutal. Okay, so Samil needs to save these on his Iron Halo on 4s. So only 2 of them saved. But he has got the Apothecary on hand, so he is going to get Feel No Pain. And no, he dies, and so does another biker. So that was a very poor performance for saves there. And he's dead, and that's a Warlord kill. Alright, so this combat is resolved. The Ravenwing bike is reduced down to 1. It's the Apothecary still alive and on the move. So he does a hit and run attack and he moves out, so he's still alive, and the bikes disperse, and so do the Berserkers, quite a distance as well. So there's some points scored there. We're just going to calculate them now. So there's 2d3 points being scored. There's Assassinate and Kingslayer, so the points are just coming in relentlessly for Chaos here. So 2d3s. Okay, so there's 5 victory points in a single turn, so
And kill the Warlord.
and slay the Warlord. So 6
Six
in total, and the Dark Angels still left with none. So Dark Angels are just not getting the crucial dice here when they need it. Samil, well, it's not the Dark Angels not getting the dice, it's Khorne are getting 12 attacks there for the Warlord. It was mammoth, and it was too much for that to handle. Already thought Samil was going to come away with a couple of wounds but alive to hit and run, and just didn't work out that way. So it's on to Dark Angel's turn 3. How much more can they take? Okay, so we're into Dark Angel's turn 3 now. The fighter is going to try and chase down this Khorne Lord on a bike, and the Apothecary is going to add fire to that as well. The Vengeance Land Speeder is going to try and take on these Berserkers, and then the Land Raider is going to try and pick up the slack there if there's any survivors. And over here, we're going to just have to leave that Terminator to die, unfortunately. The Dreadnought's just peeping around the corner. He's going to try and whittle down some of these Berserkers in the open. The bikes, they're going to try their melter shots on this Land Raider. And this Land Speeder, the final Land Speeder, he's going to put some shots on the Berserkers as well. So there's shooting to do. The points just elude the Dark Angels. What can you do? So on to shooting. Let's see if we can at least come away with some moral victories. Okay, so the Dark Angels have had some success with the shooting. The Land Speeder and everything that was said targeted the Berserkers. They've been reduced by half. A couple of rockets, the Dreadnought, all targeted them. The Crusader and the Heavy Bolter from the Vengeance battery mopped up all the Berserkers. And then between the Nephilim Jet Fighter and the last remaining biker, the stubborn biker, they just dealt out all they could on the corn load on the bikes unit, and we killed them all. Stunning performance from them. And then the cherry on the cake is the two melter guns here blow this Land Raider sky high, and the melter on the top of the Land Raider has this this Land Raider snap firing. So the core army are down in numbers. Dare we say the only way that the Dark Angels could come back is via tabling.
Yeah.
But it's teetering. We've only got this combat to do, and it's not going to go well for this Terminator, we can tell already. So let's get this resolved, unfortunately for him, his fate. So unusually, the Zuffa's using his axe more than his fist. He hasn't even raised his fist, he's just been chopping away with his axe to no avail. And all the corn Berserkers, they have a go and just scratching his armour. He kills the Terminator in return. So it's now all down to this power axe. He's got 3 attacks. He's hitting on 3, so he's only got 1 hit. He's only wounding on 3s. And it's a wound. He's made it through all these attacks. Could he just roll a 5 for us? Oh, absolutely not. It's a 1, so he succumbs. But he took more stick than most. And he killed the Terminator, so well done to him. So they consolidate, and where can they go? So it's Khorne turn 4 now.
So consolidate?
Yeah, how far? 3 inches. So it's a matter of survival now for Khorne in their turn. So the Berserkers, the 4-man unit, have got into this damaged Land Raider. This is going to be snap firing up at the Dreadnought. The Dreadnought is keeping hold of an objective that Khorne need.
Twice.
And Zuffa's moved on through the swamp, and they're going to look to mount a charge on the Ravenwing bikers. And the Rhino has moved 12 and popped smoke, so there's some shooting to do. It's a matter of survival. They've got a lot of points. The Dark Angels are still on none. It's all going to be about can these bikes be eradicated, because if they can, then that's a major step forward from living, because they've got some nasty firepower, although they'll be a pushover in combat for these. So shooting up next. We're going to have 2 snap firing las cannons at the Dreadnought. So
here we go.
Twin length. So try and roll, leading the 6. Gets away.
And the heavy ball
Gets away. Yeah. So now Zuffa and his unit, the Dennet fire at the bikers just in case the charge range is extended. So they're going to roll for a charge.
So they need a 5.
And they're going to get it on an 8, but they're going to have to suffer a Grim Resolve Overwatch. And there's some melters in there, so hopefully we can chip enough down. Okay, so Zuffa and his lot are in, and they only suffer 1 casualty in the Overwatch, so it's going to be quite a nasty fight for the Ravenwing there. So there's a lot of attacks coming in. Let's see if they can hold. So Zuffa and friends, they just maul the bikes to death, and they're all dead now. They don't take any casualties in return. And well, They might go and challenge. It's only the Dreadnought in the vicinity who can oppose them. So it's on to Dark Angels, their next turn. So the Dark Angels really need to start killing the Khorne minions here. We've got this Land Raider, he's got a melter, multi-melter, he's going to fire on this Land Raider. It needs to explode. We've got this Land Raider, Land Speeder, I wish it was Land Raider. They're going to fire on these Berserkers, and then the Dreadnought is going to waltz in there and sweep them up. But this is what we hope. And then we've got the Land Speeder Vengeance with a clean line of sight on the rear of the Rhino, although it has popped smoke, so it's got a save. If we can bring that down, that'll be good news as well. We're on our way. And this lonely Ravenwing Piker, he's turbo, right now he's just moved up onto that objective. That is going to give the Dark Angels their first point. Hooray! Okay, so it is on the psychic phase. So the psychic phase is denied straight away. So we're just going to put a strength 6 shot, Mind Worm on this Rhino, but it was denied. So straight onto shooting. We're going to have the Land Raiders multi-melter at this Land Raider here. Hit on a 3. So there's a good start. There's a 6. Double dice for penetration, and then we're soundly disappointed with that. And then the assault cannon can't hurt us if we get some good dice. So they all hit. 6 to rend. So there's 1 rending, and so that's 12 plus D3. There's 5. There's a pen. So the damage is 3. So again, it's snap firing, and it's a second hull point. So it's not good enough, but a hull point nonetheless. So the Dreadnought has piped up and he's flamed them, and he's opened up with his assault cannon. He's killed one of the Berserkers. He's put a wound on Zuffa, and he's got 2 rending hits still in the bank. So Zuffa needs to do 2 lookouts, sirs, here.
He's going to take them.
He's going to take them.
He's going to take them.
He's got an invulnerable 5 save.
You'll see why.
Okay.
It's hope against hope.
So invulnerable 5s, and Zuffa is dead. Can't believe it. Well, that's a mystery. Why did you want Zuffa to take those?
Because you could fail and I could move on to that objective. That's the only chance I've got of taking.
Well, this is looking grim for Khorne, I must say. Okay, the drop pod opens up and kills 2 Berserkers. This is just 1 left, and he's within charge distance of the Dreadnought. This is becoming unreal. They suffered a lot of casualties from the Land Speeder as well. That's how they're down to just 1 man left. This Rhino has suffered 2 hull points. It was fired at by the Vengeance. It took a glance from getting hot itself, but 2 on the Rhino. It's on its last one.
And it's immobilised.
It's immobilised as well, so this is too close to call. We're going to have to fire 2 rockets from the Deathwing at this Rhino to see him off. Or should we? No, we'll split fire. No. We're going to fire Cyclone Missile Launcher at this Rhino here. So it's 2 hits, strength 8. Okay, that's gone.
5 successes, the other smoke.
Oh yeah, smoke. Oh! Double. He saves. That's gonna live on. I can't believe it. Okay, so there's assaults. There's a Dreadnought. He needs to make it into that Berserker. See him off, and he does on a 7. He's much better than his Knight compadres. I'll never forgive them for that. And there's a 10-inch charge from these Terminators onto this Rhino as well. So 10. Not good enough. So that Rhino is immobilised. It's not going to be able to slither through many more turns. But at least the Dark Angels got some victory points there, and that Berserker is sure to die. So we'll get that. We'll get this resolved. So Hammer Wrath on strength 6. There's a wound. See if he just kills him by running into him. And he does.
Yes,
There's
he does.
another 1.
Whole rush of 1s.
Yeah. So the Dreadnought, he's going to consolidate as close as he can to this Land Raider. 6. Oh, he's on his way. He is on his way. We're just calculating the points there. We've got Slither Warlord, so there's a victory point. Secure objective 5, the Ravenwing Biker went and secure that, so there's 2 victory points. Still haven't achieved this Path of Redemption where you charge a unit that's more figures than what you have. But we did get this. This was the secret one that we've had for a long time. Haven't failed the morale check in 3 turns. There's the red dice of 3. That's how many turns we elected. So that means the Dark Angels are going to score 3 plus D3 victory points. So this is what we've been holding out for. D3. So there's 4 victory points on that card. That objective and Warlord. So not the end of the world. 6 points in the Dark Angels in 1 turn. But we don't think we're going to come back on points wise. It's just, can the Dark Angels manage to blow this Land Raider up, kill the 4 Berserkers inside, and finish off that Rhino on the last hull point? If they can, then that's the game. So it's Berserkers, or what's left of them, they're turn 5. Short movement phase from the Chaos. Yep, the Land Raiders came from around here, around the woods, and popped smoke here. It's doing the best they can to try and get a cover save. That has got the 4 Berserkers on board, and this Rhino is immobilised. What you can do in the shooting phase is on a 6 it becomes unimmobilised.
Here we go then.
No, it's a 1. So because the Land Raiders popped smoke, that's the end of the movement phase, and it's the end of the shooting phase. So can the Dark Angels catch that? It's all up to this multi-melter on this Land Raider. If we can do that, it's a good start. It's going right down to the wire here. The Dark Angels need objective 1 here. It's been held by the Land Raider, so this definitely needs to go. And this objective here needs to be had, so the bike plans on getting on there just in case. Terminators, they are the insurance policy if this Rhino doesn't go down. We've got the fighter going to shoot it in the back. The Dreadnought is going to add weight of fire to the Land Raider, and then we've got a land speeder as well with rockets. It's going to be all about rolling the 6s, and if we can do that, then the Dark Angels might come away with a good win here. So here we go, shooting phase. Okay, so the Land Raider, he's going to open up with the assault cannon first. There's 2 hits, re-roll. There's all hits, needing 6s to rend. Oh, there's 2 6s. So we're needing, so it's up to 12, another D3 on top of this. There's a glance on a 14, need to save on the smoke save of 5.
Okay, here we go.
So that goes through, he's rolled a 4. It's got 1 hull point left. And we've got a multi-melter on board, so here we go. Multi-melter, power the machine spirit. Has missed. Boo. We've got Venerable Dreadnought, assault cannon at the side of it, please. He's got preferred enemy. So there's 4 hits. He is needing 6s. And it's a double 6. Come on. There's another glance. So another save on a 5 because of smoke.
Can we do it?
Oh.
No, we can't.
Oh, it's a 1. It's gone. So the Berserkers, they have to get out within emergency disembarkation. So that's 3-inch get out move. Wow. Khorne Berserkers have done an emergency disembarkation, and there they are, just out of line of sight of the Terminators, well, most of them. So can the Dark Angels kill these last Berserkers, and surely the Flyer can destroy this Rhino. The Flyer opens fire on the Rhino, easily takes that out, so that's that out of the way. So what we've got is the Land Speeder Vengeance. He's going to do a big blast with plasma on these Berserkers. We're going to try and land it there, and we'll get 3. But first, does he get hot? He's already got hot once, so if he does it again, then we're going to be very disappointed in him. That is his scatter dice. And he doesn't get hot in a 5. We haven't scored a direct hit yet this game with any of our scattering units, so if there was a time to not scatter, that would be the time. But it's going to scatter 3 inches, still going to get some, we'll calculate that. Just now. One Berserker caught in the blast and he has died, but the Heavy Bolter can no longer see the unit, so it's going to live on. But that is that objective scored because the Land Raider is out the way, so it's just, I think this last Berserker is going to hang on somehow. Unless we'll try some trickery here. So we've got this Land Speeder Typhoon is going to fire now. We're going to do shells. We're going to have to try and reach around the corner here. So we're going to put the blast there like so, and we'll get 2 because we can see that one at the front. So the first rocket is going to scatter 2 inches this way. So that's probably still going to hit them both, and it does just. Second one, same place, still 2 inches, so it's going to hit 2 at the front here. So there's 4 in total, needing 4s, and there's 3 wounds. That could be what we need if all fail. No, they all pass. Heavy Bolter, 1 hit, 1 wound. Save, no, it's just not going to happen. We're going to do split fire with the Terminators. Sorry, not even a split fire, we're just going to do the Cyclone missile launcher down at the Berserker. He will get a save of 5. So there's 1 hit. Preferred enemy, can't stop rolling 1s this entire game, so there's 1. And he saves anyway. So the last thing to do is turbo boost that biker onto objective 4. Yep. So he is claiming that one. This speeder is claiming this one. So there's 2 victory points and no prisoners scored. So there's another 3 points, but I still don't think that's enough to bring us back. So the crucial dice roll is if the game continues. So it continues on 3. Does, so that's another chance for the Dark Angels to see off these 3 Berserkers. You know, in the first 2 turns it was the Dark Angels just hoping to survive until the till the reserves turned up. Now the shoe is on the other foot.
Yeah,
so
circle of wagons.
It's a circle of life. So we've got
circle of wagons.
3 Berserkers. What can they do? Berserkers have moved around the Land Raider. They need this objective, and we've just worked out the points we're actually drawn 9-9, so it's much closer than I thought. So the Berserkers, they're going to try and charge this this speeder if they want to. They've got a lot of strength 5 hits. It's on its last hull point. Could very easily just take that down. Is that what they're going to do?
Let's have a look. If I move into here, it's going to put me out of line breaker.
Alright, okay. So no charge there. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? 'Cause next turn they could suffer.
I can't consolidate if I hit the beetle. So.
True. So they're trying to take the victory points available there. So there's 2, well, at least 1 point in that turn. They do have objective secured. That's why they're taking that from the land speeder.
Try and survive at least one. I just won't if I attack you.
Okay, well, that's the end of Corn turn then, is it?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so the Berserkers, they're not going to charge it, but they will shoot at it. So
one's a grenade, yellow.
Yellow's a grenade, so we will we'll jink these just as well. So 6s on the red and a 4 on the yellow. Right, so there's 1 pen from the grenade thrown. Saving on a 4 because we did jink, and it's a save, so that lives on. But it is snap firing, so the plasma isn't going to be able to do any damage next turn, unless we roll 6s, which I think we've exhausted our 6s off all the assault cannons on the Land Raider. So it's now Dark Angels in what could be the last turn. This has been a mighty comeback. Harness the Warp has been achieved. The Psyker casts Aversion and Maelstrom of Misery, so we need to get this resolved, in fact. So Temlet, Strength 4, AP 2. So we're going to drop that on his head there, hopefully. No, that crucial hit still eludes us. That is 9 inches, so it's going to scatter 5 and get nobody. So they get away from that, scot-free, but they're going to have to suffer in the moving phase from all of the Dark Angels to try to surround them as much as we can. So Land Raider blocking a lot of line of sight, but it might be enough in the end. So let's get the shooting phase. The Land Raider does the work and punishes 2 of the Berserkers that I can see. There's 1 left, and who we're going to give the glory to, I think it's got to be the lonely Ravenwing biker. He's seen too much to not come away with the hero win here. So he's got Plasma Talon shots. Oh, it's going to reroll that. It's twinning. So there's 2 hits, 2s to kill, and that is the last Berserker dead.
And it's game, set and match.
And that's game over. It doesn't matter about the points. That is undisputed victory. That is a table. That was tense.
Yeah, it just shows you how limited Chaos or the Chaos Codex is. That I think very, very limited in what they can do. I think it shows you the absolute devastation that they put out when you get into combat with a batch of Berserkers like that, and they've got veterans of the Long War with hatred. They take the best Dark Angels unit, who is supposed to be good at fighting Chaos, and they just wreck them, absolutely wreck them, and the damage is done with the shooting. So yeah, life to a gunfight again.
Well, not quite. I'm not quite sure where. I think the pivotal point was the Ravenwing bikes on this side with the melter guns coming on. They did some fantastic work. They took out this demon engine, and the Dreadnought drop pod coming in, taking out that demon engine. All of a sudden, it was closing in on both sides on the Demon King. I've done it again. The Khorne army. We're just getting sandwiched between World Eaters, getting sandwiched between the two forces of the Dark Angels, both wings. And I think the Psyker deserves credit as well, putting a version on those Terminators when he did, to stop them getting their plasma shots off on full Blitzing skill, because that would have been nasty. Okay, well, that was pretty tense.
Yeah.
And thank you for listening through my cold.